Good evening, friends. Hope all of you are fine. I have again come up with a very important topic, that of emotions versus rationality in life. Let me make it clear with a few examples. All of us know Rajesh Khanna. He was fondly called Kaka, which in Punjabi means like Baua in Bhojpuri, a cute child. Rajesh Khanna was a superstar, first superstar of Hindi cinema. He was born in the same year as that of Amitabh Bachchan in 1942. He started his career. He was selected in an All India Talent Contest organized by the Film Producers Association in 1965. And in 1966, he got his first movie, Aakhri Khat, which went on to the Oscars in the final five, though it was not commercially very successful. And from 69 to 72 or 73, it was such a phase that Rajesh Khanna gave one after another as many as 15 super hit films. He became a superstar, the first superstar of Hindi cinema. He bought the famous Ashirwad bungalow from none other than the Jubilee star Rajendra Kumar. But as it is said that all days are not equal, all days are not even. The films changed, the appetite of the audience changed, the writers changed, and then came Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan also started his journey in the same way. He too was born in 1942 on 11th October. He struggled a lot, as he has said in so many of his KBC interviews, that in All India Radio also he was rejected for his voice, his baritone voice, which later became his trademark. This was a weakness which later became his strength. Likewise, in 1966, in the Bangla film Bhuvan Shom, he gave his voice as a voice narrator in that Bangla movie. He had 12 consecutive films before Janjeer was made, before Sholay was made, and he became a superstar and angry young man. Dawn, there were so many trademark films, Mr. Natwarlal, and he became a superstar. The only superstar. So, the journey of Amitabh Bachchan and Rajesh Khanna was similar. But what is the difference? What is there in point? What is there the case in point that we are saying that emotions and rationality do not go together? We are driven by emotions. And when we take it very seriously, when the failures come, we come in illusion. We do not wish to see the reality. This is what happened. Though Rajesh Khanna has had also his comebacks in 1960, in mid 80s he had Avatar, he had Aaj Ka MLA, he had good hit films in mid 80s also. He was obviously a very very talented actor, very dedicated actor. He even tried his hands in politics also. He campaigned for Congress. He fought against Mr. Lal Krishna Advani. Later he defeated Shatrughan Sinha also from that prestigious New Delhi seat. So he did all these things. But somehow he was caught in the emotions. He was caught in that illusion that he is the superstar. He lived that role. And that illusions, when we are in illusions, the reality is marred. We do not see the reality, that the world has changed and we have to reinvent ourselves. We have to reskill ourselves. We have to upskill ourselves. Likewise, if you see the journey of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, he too had 12 consecutive flop films. And in 1994, there was a time when his film Insaniyat was a big flop on the box office, and for the next 5 years he was not offered any movie. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan from 1994 to 1999 was not offered any movie. But he took it with all humility, with all modesty. As we all know, he created the company ABCL. He even sponsored the Miss World pageant in 1996 in Bangalore. Made loss of millions of rupees in that. ABCL went broke. In 2000, in the AD 2000, KBC started, and he reinvented himself. His baritone voice, his humility, his modesty, his interest in the ordinary people, his literary things or the philosophical things he said in the KBCs, it became very, very popular. And he again made his comeback. So this is the difference. Likewise, let me cite another example, that of Mr. Vinod Ganpat Kamli and Mr. Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. Vinod Kamli and Sachin Tendulkar, they were both students of Sharda Ashram High School in Mumbai, and they were both disciples of Mr. Ramakant Achrikar. In the school league in Mumbai, they made a partnership of 664 runs, which at that time was the world's highest partnership ever made. Vinod Kambli's contribution in that was 664 was 329 runs. Was 349 runs, and Tendulkar's contribution in that was 329 runs. So obviously Vinod Kambli was very talented. He made his debut 3 years after Tendulkar. In the first ball in the Ranji Trophy that he played, he hit it for a 6. And you won't believe that in the first 14 innings he has made 1000 runs in Test cricket, though he could play only 17 Test matches. In the first 14 innings he made 1000 runs, and in his first 7 innings he hit 2 double centuries. In the first 7 tests, I take your pardon, he hit 2 double centuries and 2 centuries. Such was his talent. He even hit 22 runs to Shinwan in an over. But somehow emotions overpowered him. We can cite the example of the 1996 cricket semi-final, World Cup semi-final in Kolkata, in which the pitch was viciously turning, and Azharuddin, after winning the toss, took fielding. And in the second innings, when Muralidharan was operating, the vicious turn became so sharp that Indians were about 123 runs for 7 wickets, and later the team couldn't play its final overs and lost badly. Kambli was seen crying, throwing his bat. He was crying inconsolably. He was overpowered by emotions. Tendulkar, at the same time, he started career 3 years before Kambli. He was one of the youngest cricketers, and he had baptism with fire as he faced Pakistan in his first Test match. The fearsome Waqar Yunus and Wasim Akram. And we all know that he was even hit on his nose by Waqar Yunus. And the famous statement that he made, कि मैं खेलेगा, I will play, I will continue to play. And in the Sialkot Test, in that series in Sialkot Test in Pakistan, Tendulkar made a valiant 57 runs and saved the day for India. That Test match was drawn. So by his grit, by his dedication, by his determination, Tendulkar made his way. He went on to play 200 Test matches. He scored 46 centuries in the Test matches and scored 51 centuries in his one-dayers, ODIs. About 18,426 runs he made in ODIs and 15,921 runs in his Test career. He took even 154 wickets in ODIs and 46 wickets in Test matches. He gave his best. He made century of centuries. Even Sir Donald Bradman said that I have no videos of myself, but when I see Tendulkar playing, I feel that he is my incarnation. Such was his humility. He too had his low phases. He has a tennis elbow. He failed miserably as captain, but he continued reinventing himself. He remained down to earth. He remained modest. He remained cool and calm. His personal or public behavior were always like a celebrity, like very responsible, as of Amitabh Bachchan. So what we find is that the core values, the personal conduct or the social behavior, if we talk about Sachin Tendulkar or if we talk about Amitabh Bachchan, they are the icons. They suggest the way how celebrities should behave, how popular figures should behave, and they are so down to earth. They are so keen on learning new things. They are so keen on reinventing themselves. And on the other hand, Rajesh Khanna, though he was a superstar, he is very successful, and Vinod Kamli was not that successful. But they were overpowered by emotions, and they were driven by emotions. Rather, we should be at a driving seat as far as emotions are concerned. Emotions should not rule us, should not overpower us, should not blur our vision. We should be we should be in full control of our emotions. We should be at a driving seat. That way, we should be very rational in our decisions, and we should see the reality. We should see through. How we shall see through? How the young professionals who are successful, how the people who are successful should keep themselves down to earth, should keep themselves calm and relaxed. How do they do this? There are a few meditation techniques. There are a few things that they should always inculcate as their core values, or we say the sanskaras. Apart from that, those core values, one should always live in the present. Living in the present means you realize that what is the reality. You should live in the present. And the second thing that you do is Mauna. Mauna is not silence as we translate it in English. Mauna is observant, being observant, silent, but at the same time being observant of all the surroundings, all the things that are changing. And when we need upskilling, when we need new skilling, we shall be able to do that. And the third one, the most important one, is being Sahaj, at ease. One should be at ease with the situation. One should accept the reality. When we are driven by emotions, Rajesh Khanna tried every night. He tried to make a comeback. He started drinking heavily. He had cancer, and later he died. Even his house Ashirwad couldn't be turned into his museum. There were so many controversies of live-in relationships and all that we do not want to go there. In Kamli's case also, he had divorced and all that. So there were so many controversies as emotions got better of them. That is what I am saying. We should, when we are in present time, when we look the reality very clearly, there are no illusions, there are no emotions that overpowers us. The situation changes when we accept the situation gracefully and remold ourselves, make ourselves flexible, change ourselves to the situation, to the demand of the situation. We become successful, we continue our success. So we shall be down to earth. Our core values, the ethics, the public behavior shall always be up to the mark, shall always be in consonance with your post, with your success, with the responsibility, that heavier responsibility that lies on your shoulders. So we shall live in the present. We shall observe Mauna. Mauna is not only silence or keeping silence. It is observing from within. It is observing from within. We observe our situation. We live in reality, we observe our situation, and when we observe our situation, we accept our situation. And when we accept the reality, we become Sahaj, or at ease. We accept that. When we do not accept that we are no more the superstars, we are no more the most successful player, then a frustration comes. And in that frustration, negativity, that negativity brings further negativity, and we go downhill, we go down the line, and all sorts of wrong things we do in a chain, one after another. So we shall be very down to earth. We shall accept that with all modesty, that every day will not be the same. We will not get success continuously and for the whole life. So we shall be very quiet, mourn, observant from within. We shall live in the present. That's the most important thing that even MS Dhoni always says. We shall live in the present, and we shall be Sahaj. When we accept our reality, we will at ease with ourselves. We should not be conflict with ourselves. We shall not try to become what we are not. We will not be judgmental. When we become Sahaj, when we become silent or Mauna, and when we live in the present, we don't become judgmental. We don't become bitter. we don't criticize or condemn, we become evolved. We arrive. We behave very modest, with all modesty, with all humility, and the public conduct is exemplary, as I gave the example of Sachin Tendulkar and Amitabh Bachchan. And this should be the goal. Once a young professional, or once anyone in any walk of life, he or she gets success, the first thing that he or she should learn is to behave in that way that should be an example for all the people, for all the fans, for all those who are watching you, for all those who are observing you, and all those who follow you. You should be very, very responsible, very modest, very humble, living in the present, practicing silence or speaking less, observing more, listening more, and the most important thing is being Sahaj, being at ease with the situation, the present situation that you are in. When you do not accept that situation, you become frustrated. When you are driven by your illusion, by your emotions, there is an illusory world that you start living in, and in that illusory world you will think yourself as that successful, as that superstar, as that champion player that you were 10 years or 15 years or 50 years, or say many years ago, and now so much water has crossed the bridge. So we should be very Sahaj, we shall practice Mauna, and we shall be in the present. That way we can continue our success. So every one of us should emulate Mr. Amitabh Bachchan and Mr. Sachin Tendulkar. They are our heroes. Rajesh Khanna is also our hero. Rajesh Khanna is a superstar, but he should have given us more and more films. He should have reinvented himself, and he should have continued his life innings. And likewise, Mr. Vinod Kamli also, he didn't did justice with his potential, with his talent, and he played just 17 test matches. So it's a sad tale. We shall always follow this, and hope my message is clear to you. There was a few interruptions when I speak, but I speak continuously, so please bear these obstructions, and hope my message you got my message, and you will follow that message, or at least you will think over those messages and try to inculcate or try to develop those qualities in you also. So saying you all a very good night, and wishing you all great success in your life. Bye.